So let's get to this. So the Bengals have experience coming back from an 0-2 hole
They did so
to,
last year.
yep, they they should have made it to the Super Bowl, but the refs gave the Chiefs that game. I don't care what anybody says. The refs gave the Chiefs that game. You can't tell me otherwise. But because I will fight you tooth and nail on that. But how concerned do you think Bengals fans should be about their 0-2 start this season? We're not talking about last season because we know what they did. We're talking about now.
I think ultimately it comes down to if Joe Burrow plays Monday night against the Rams. Because if Burrow does play, I would expect them to beat the Rams at home. After that, then you get at Tennessee, which the Titans are a very physical football team. They're going to need Burrow to win that game, and that is a winnable game even on the road. Then you get Arizona. We're on the road. I don't care what Arizona did against the Giants. The Cardinals stink. That should be a win. So there are three possibilities here where you could win three straight. Burrow could get healthy. You can get the season back on track. You can go 3-2. But if Burrow misses this game Monday night and they lose and they drop to 0-3, you're in trouble. And this is a different trouble because it's in a different division. And the difference between this year and last year is they're now 0-2 in the division, which is a big setback, especially when you consider the division they're in. They're going to have to almost either sweep Pittsburgh or at least win, split with the Browns, split with the Ravens, and split with Pittsburgh. They're going to have to win at least 3 division games, I believe. This 0-2 start, especially with Baltimore now starting 2-0, and we both agree probably 3-0 and maybe 4-0 if they can beat the Browns, they're going to be behind in the AFC North. What saved Cincinnati last year was Lamar got hurt in the middle of the season. Remember, Baltimore was leading the division for the first 12 weeks. Then Cincinnati came up behind them because Baltimore couldn't win a game with Tyrell Huntley. So if it doesn't happen again this year, Baltimore now at this point is in the driver's seat in the North. I'd be a little bit concerned if I'm Cincinnati, but I do think it really depends on, does Burrow play Monday night? How well does he play? If you can get a win Monday night in prime time against the Rams and get your revenge from the Super Bowl a couple years ago, then I think it's deep breath. Okay, we're fine. We got this. If Burrow doesn't play or he looks bad or you lose regardless Monday night, then we go from we have Super Bowl aspirations to a soft tank.
Yeah. Think about this too. Like, if the Bengals lose, you know, what excuse will they use this time? Because, in week 1 you could say, it was the weather or whatever. I know that's not a very strong excuse, but it's I don't know the phrase to use here, but
It's not a great excuse. The Browns were dealing with the same
right,
issue.
right. The Browns are dealing with the same issue. I guess they were a little more adaptive to it.
Well,
But
not really. The Browns did not play well either. Their defense just created better field position.
okay, I'll give you that one. I think that's valid. But like, what's Cincinnati's excuse for last week's loss against Baltimore? I
Their
mean,
excuse is that Burrow is not 100% healthy, and it comes back to, and we've seen this now for a couple of teams, Philadelphia, another one, Cincinnati. There's a lot of these teams that, and we all said, why play your guys in preseason, right? Why risk injury? But we're seeing the teams that did not play their starters in preseason really come out slow, vanilla. They're not in rhythm. I think that combined with Burrow not taking a snap in training camp is real. And I said it when I heard it. I thought it was a problem. I thought the Browns were going to win week 1. I thought the line was wrong. I thought the line was wrong again against Baltimore. I thought Baltimore was going to win that game. And so I do think Cincinnati's going to turn it around. I think they'll be fine. I think Zach Taylor, contrary to a lot of people's belief, I like Zach Taylor as a coach. It's not his fault. He didn't have a quarterback for 2 years. I think he showed, and Lou Adamomo and the defense has shown the ability to make adjustments. What Brandon Staley has not shown the ability to do. So on a 1 to 10 scale, I'll give you a 4 right now. I'd definitely bump it up though to like 6 or 7 if what we think is going to happen is Burrow misses Monday night, because that's what Vegas is telling you right now.
I would I hear you, but if I'm a Bengals fan, I already have it at a 6 or 7 because you lost 2 games in the AFC North, which, you know, all the hype and all the offseason talk was, oh, the AFC North is going to be the best division in football. Granted, we were saying that about the AFC West last year, and we know how that turned out. But, AFC West, AFC North, 2 different divisions. I get it. But still, we were having the same conversation. But think about this. Joe Burrow, last year, he has an emergency appendectomy.
Yep.
And he looked horrible against the Steelers in week 1. And then he came out and played a little bit better in week 2. I forget who they played last year in week 2, but doesn't really
They
matter.
played Dallas and lost to Cooper Rush in Dallas.
That's
and
right.
Then, by the way, they started 2-3. They lost a Sunday nighter at the buzzer to Baltimore. Started 2-3, and then that's when they got their streak going. Was about week 6. I think they only lost 1 game the rest of the year from that point forward.
That sounds right.
So there is an opportunity, but as we both said, the difference this year is, Burrow was last year. Yeah, he had the surgery, but he took some snaps. He wasn't limping around. His swagger is gone. He's not looking confident. The offense is not in rhythm. That's the concern.
Yes, but for me, that's why it's already at a 6 or 7, is because you're not just 0-2 this season. You're 0-2 in the AFC North, which maybe if Pittsburgh can get their shit together with Matt Canada as their offensive coordinator.
They're not. Matt Canada is not an NFL offensive coordinator. I'm sorry, Steelers fans.
Yeah, he needs to be fired, which they were actually chanting that at the game last night. They were chanting "Fire Canada."
I mean, here's the thing, and sort of as I know we're getting off topic, we're about to transition to our last topic. But the one thing that I think Zach Taylor does, that Cincinnati does well, that the Browns and Steelers did not do well last night in terms of coaching, is adjustments. And last night was very predictable play calling with Stefanski and Canada on the offensive side of the ball, and I still think, Baltimore stays healthy. They're probably the favorite right now in the North, but I still say Cincinnati's second until somebody proves to me otherwise.
Yes, which, here's something interesting. Maybe the AFC isn't the juggernaut conference we thought it was this season. We were talking about, look at all these contenders. And, Jacksonville laid an egg against Kansas City.
They'll be fine. I'm not worried about Jacksonville.
Kansas City, maybe they'll straighten it out later, but
I would not be concerned about Kansas City either. They're 1-1. They won the game. They're gonna be fine. They get Chicago, who's a complete fucking disaster.
The Chiefs I would say the Chiefs are a little bit shaky right now. I hear what you're saying, but the Chargers, I don't know.
That's coaching.
Yeah. The Bengals, they're 0-2.
Bengals are shaky.
Browns just lost Nick Chubb, so who knows what that does to them.
And they're coaching shaky.
Yes. And, the Jets lost Aaron Rodgers, and they were
and their season's over because Zach Wilson doesn't know how to read a defense, and he's about to get killed by Belichick by 30. So,
and I don't fully trust Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, even after that win against the Raiders.
I don't either. But you know what? That was the first time where I said, Buffalo, you listen to me on Championship Rings. You listen to me on the Brands World podcast. You're actually running the football. So Miami looks good right now.